And our operating expenses for the month, the maintenance expense were $469,856 versus $433,429, and that mainly is due to our collector point charges that we're charging. We have more than we did last year. Maintenance expense $167,914 versus $150,158, and that's pretty much flat. Our EBITDA is $315,522 versus $463. Of course, depreciation and tax expense. And one thing I wanted to point out, in the other income, we have the $1.5 million revenue from TVA this month that we're recording as revenue. So that left us with a net income of $1,369,565 versus last year of $86,631. And then our current year, $2,351,000 versus $2,132,000.
If it hadn't been for the grant, it actually been net income negative a little bit this month. That's happened 3 times this year with the rates. Before you go to the next sheet, you'll see that total revenues up there, they're up 3.7%. Purchase power is up 6.7%. And that's still because we had those months in the year before that had to do with that rate gift TVA gave us in the first 3 months of fiscal 11. So it's that's still part of why you're seeing the difference. If you look year to date, the operating margin, that's about what, $700,000 difference, and there's 800 of it. That's just about in the TVA rate.
Did you say this $1.5 million is the last monies that we're going to receive from TVA?
No, there'll be one more, I think. Yeah, this is the money that's just for voltage regulation, and Brian, the guys doing peak demand check. That's the last payment for that. We've got a block of money for the water, being able to control water load, and there's some other stuff on hot water heaters, on HVAC pumps, but those will be based on customer take. We made them. A lot of them are backing off in that area right now because TVA really hadn't come up with a good rebate rate for those. But those projects, I still have the contracts on my desk for them, so we'll look at them. We got till October 2013 to get those.
They won't be near this much, I would.
Well, it could go up to $4 million. I think we're going to get about 3.4 once we do the water. We're just waiting on some SCADA upgrades for water.
Okay.
Probably, no, it'll get 3.4, 3.5, somewhere there.
For our sales for the month, residential and commercial is up for this month and down for the year to date. Industrial is down 2.4%, and overall that we're down 1% from last year and down 1% for year to date.
No, it's hard.
Industrial.
It's hard to track. I don't know what's going on. We budgeted flat, and we're running -1. Remember, Chris he ran the what ifs. If you're -1, -2, +1, +2. We budgeted flat, so year to date we're 1%. But
Industrial, 1%, the water was up 18%.
yeah, I know. That's what didn't make sense. I've had her looking for 3 days. Something's not right.
They stopped all those leaks.
Yeah. But let me tell you something of what's happening in the revenue here. We had a really mild month in October, which means a lot of our revenues in the early part of November were based on some really mild weather. But TVA, on the other hand, captures your kilowatt hours from first to the end of the month. So there's a block of it in there that's got to do with just mild weather. If you look at the chart right here, I went in through this one in the middle of it, but right here was look at the degree days through October and September and October, and then they jumped here in November. So we're obviously TVA's billing us on degree days and customer usage based on this number, and half of our revenue, especially small business and residential, anything outside the power route, had a very mild month. So we're going to catch it. The revenue ought to catch back up this month, but a lot of it's weather dependent. And if you note this year, if this 519 holds true right there, it's the lowest year we've had since 2006 as far as degree days. It's not that far off normal though, if you look at normalized total, but it's TVA, their revenue was way down this year too. A lot of it's weather. But we track the degree days pretty close, and then you see a lot of the residential usage follows that pretty close.
Kenny?
Our balance sheet for the month pretty much is, the same. There's not really any changes. We just normally know our balance for our bond issue is $15 million. And then our cash for the month is up, mainly because we did receive that $1.5 million grant from TVA. And that left us with our net cash of $10,514,000 versus $8,398,588. And from last year and up from last month of $9,529,732. And once again, it was mainly due to the money we received from TVA.
And that 10 million's got us just almost to 60 days.
Yeah.
Almost to it. And that's where, that was the target.
That's spendable, right?
Yeah, the spending, the 10 million, I think 60 days this month would have been 10,000,007. So it's almost there, 60 days.
We should have 12, right?
Yeah, should, and we get, you know, the auditors came in and said, the TVA auditors were saying, you know, how much cash do you need? Like we're getting to where we need to be. The TVA is ultimately says, with the new rate structure, 60 to 90 days is not bad. But I don't think we need 90, because we're more consistent with
Well,
conducting those.
we have some, vacation, some of them that go back.
Yeah, yeah.
And we buy a bunch of stuff cash until you get.
And we can repay, that's one good thing about the variable loan, we can, if we begin to do good, you can repay without a penalty.
You know how Greenville stands? I saw that article you sent about North Carroll's comments.
On the customer deposit.
Yeah, customer comments.
I haven't seen the,
Are they near 60 days?
oh, were they in your, I'd have to go look at your stats and check, I'm not sure. Do you remember Greenville got in that situation, that's before I came.
Well, they made them,
They didn't give it back.
they had them too much.
They had to issue customer
They
rates.
had to cut their rates or something.
Yeah, yeah, well, they cut rates and issued credits at one time.
twice too many, one.
Yeah, and I don't know what that was back then, I don't know how much they had, but I think I remember hearing like $16, $20 million they had in the bank, and their power bill's not that much bigger.
But they had raised their rates,
Mhm.
like years ago, they raised their rates, and nobody else did that.
Yeah. I mean, TVA is our regulator, they look at that, and they make, we don't have our final audit, but our audit, preliminary results of the TVA internal audit on us, we're good. I mean, there's nothing.
We're good.
You know, that's independent from Copeland Justice, TVA looks at it as a rate regulator, and we'll get that audit by, I guess,
Probably not in this week, probably first of next week.
we should be able to present it to next board meeting.